Welcome back, everybody, to the interviews with holistic veterinarians, MDs, scientists, and pet parents around the world, discussing vitality and balance and the ways to keep our beloved companion animals healthy and happy and have the best qualities of life for the longest time possible. I'm veterinarian Jeff Feynman, and it's my honor today to have with us a veterinarian, a holistic veterinarian from New Zealand, Dr. Is it Liza or Liza? Liza Schneider. So thank you so much for joining us before a busy clinic day for you. So welcome.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's truly my pleasure. So I want to respect your time and launch right in. Why don't you tell me what your thinking is when I say vitality? Are you thinking strictly about physical stuff or what?
Yeah, I think it's more broad than that. I think it's those tangible and intangible qualities that support the inherent healing ability and the inherent ability to stay healthy and well of any organism. You can see it in some people and some animals. They just exude this vitality and it makes everybody feel better and it makes the world a better place.
So when you say it's that ability to stay healthy or to exude health, specifically, how do you think about what that means, as far as in your patients? How is that ability manifesting?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of ways to look at this in our conventional paradigm. Certainly, within our veterinary structure, we consider health to be clean blood tests and that we're checking regularly to ensure that animals don't have parasites and we treat them for parasites. But I think from a holistic perspective, one of the ways that we could look at health and well-being is an animal's ability to naturally repel parasites and maintain that health. And as much as we can measure all these qualities, in a lot of ways, they're obvious. The coat is shiny and glossy, those eyes are twinkling and bright. This animal is healthy and free of disease or dis-ease.
So you're saying it instead of spelling it, but you're saying dis-ease, I
Yeah, I
believe.
think,
So in other words, imbalance. But I wanted to go back just for 1 second to what you said as far as blood tests or external symptoms. So it sounds like you're saying that vitality is reflected both internally as well as externally.
yeah, I believe that to be the case.
So a symptom is either visually seen or measured in a lab or by lab tests. Are they equal?
I think it's basically collecting the pieces of the puzzle. And these puzzles can be really, really vast, but a lot of things that we look for when we address an animal's health holistically are not necessarily quantifiable within our systems. And it's almost an impression that you can get sometimes with those things that can't be measured, but certainly those that are measurable, they're a really useful help. And even our conventional tools where we do those blood tests, all of those help to stack up and give us the piece of the puzzle to illustrate that this animal is coping and well and balanced and free of disease.
So you're describing the holistic totality, basically everything inside, outside, in, looking at it all together. Awesome, great, thank you. I guess that brings us to dis-ease or imbalance. What are your thoughts about balance?
Yeah, so I think ideally every animal, every human maintains their own inherent health and well-being, and they have that vitality, and that's also reliant on the environment that goes around them. And ideally, the environment in which they live is a stress-free environment with all of those aspects supporting that health and well-being. But that's not always the case. Sometimes some very healthy and vital animals and humans live in very imbalanced environments. And it becomes more difficult to maintain that health and well-being. So it's this ongoing tricky balancing act where homeostasis, or the body's ability to balance, has to kick in, and the adaptability of that animal or human within that environment to be able to be resilient and maintain their health.
So the degree of balance is basically akin to the resilience, or the ability of the animal or person to respond to anything external. And that brings us, I guess, to germs. Do you think germs or balance are more important or equally
Yeah,
important?
yeah, so that balance provides the framework and the groundwork for the body to be able to cope with the challenge that would come its way. So a challenge could be viewed as, some emotional stress. It could be viewed as a change in the weather or environment, and certainly it can be viewed as a germ. And our society classifies germs as bad, and they can be bad in the way that they can cause disease. But a lot of the time, what we're seeing these days as germs or bad are actually common commensal organisms or bugs that live with us or live with our animals, but they're manifesting disease because of inherent weaknesses in immune systems. And if we can strengthen up those immune systems and help our animal patients to be healthier, then those pathogens or those bugs that we see as bad, they won't necessarily cause or make disease get out of control. But then certainly there are germs or bugs or viruses where they can be extremely virulent, and it's much more of a challenge for the body to rise and defend itself.
Awesome, awesome. Wow. So the balance, you said lay the groundwork, so that makes me think of the terrain, working the farm, working the terrain, but I believe you're referring to the inner terrain, the balance of all the factors that make up the terrain, the balance of the body. And I guess you may have answered already, but I'll ask you again, if you have a feeling why one pet may get sick. Let's say two go into the kennel, they're both exposed to kennel cough. One gets sick and one doesn't get sick.
Yeah, this is the thing that fascinates me and that I love to work with, but certainly that one that doesn't get sick, their inherent ability to maintain their health in whatever ways work for them. So their genetic makeup, the food that they're eating, their ability to cope with stress, and how they feel during that time, all of those will play a role in that ability to defend against disease.
So that ability is manifest as their balance.
Yeah, their ability to maintain balance, I guess. And I think, some animals are born with it, some not so much. And some, you can work on that terrain, you can work on that groundwork, you can get their immune systems working more efficiently. But some, they are born with long-term issues that constantly need to be managed. But I'm always amazed. The body has an incredible ability to heal and maintain its health. It simply needs those building blocks. And those, um, those healers or vets or anybody who maintains health and well-being, they can absolutely be like magicians. One of my favorite phrases is, when you know what the magician knows, it's no longer magic. And the many tools, from nutrition through to herbal medicine, through to homeopathy, through to energy medicine, there's so many things that we don't understand yet can just make such a difference.
Awesome, awesome, great. So we talked a bit about internal symptoms, external symptoms, and let's think about all symptoms. And I'm going to ask you a question that you may not have thought about, but I'll ask it anyway, and that is whether you've got any thoughts of connection between symptoms and the body's energy level. Whether it's
Yeah, yes, I guess to me, the body's energy level is again back to that ability to maintain balance and ability to maintain health and wellness. So, we seeing signs or symptoms of disease means that an imbalance has occurred. And one of the ways that I love to look at health, and I explain a lot to our clients that come through the door, is when you're promoting health and well-being, the body needs the ingredients to heal. So if you look at a car, for example, you're going to put fuel into it. And like with the animal's body or the human's body, there's good nutrition, there's a stress-free environment, there's lots of love and TLC, and adding in all those ingredients can promote health and well-being. But like the car, if you put in the fuel and the engine's faulty or it's all clogged up with waste, it doesn't matter how much of that good stuff you put in, you're still not going to get that optimal health and well-being. So you just got to look at it all together and use the tools that you can to make a difference.
So I guess you can almost think about health, health as, or as vitality as a fuel in that car. You can have a lot of vitality, but if you're really imbalanced, if the car is all gummed up in other ways, it's not going to run very well.
Yeah, and just getting everything working in sync can just be, again, so magical.
But if you know the way the trick is done, it's not magic. I got it. And if the car runs out of fuel, I guess vitality is gone and that's the end of life, which makes sense
Yeah,
because the difference between life and death is vitality or no vitality.
yeah.
So anything else you want to add on this topic, or any other thoughts before we go?
Yeah, I guess there's just so much opportunity to help to improve that health and well-being, to boost vitality. And I think one of the biggest things is all of us working together and acknowledging that there's so much that we don't understand. And while there is so much that we can quantify and understand, our conventional model excludes that which we can't measure. And while that has its place because we want to make sure that treatments we use as vets are credible and professional and that we use them responsibly, when you've got so many treatment options that are ultimately harmless yet can do so much good, why not just embrace those and give it a go? Because there's so many animals and humans that benefit.
So I know I said we're going, but you said something, so we all know about diet, fresh food, feeding, good diet, exercise, breathing, positivity, but what are the other things that people can learn about? These are the take-homes that people can use at home that would be 100% safe, that you found to be useful in your practice.
Yeah, there's so many different options, and what I love is our clients often introduce us to more of these things. But yeah, the common things are different herbal medicines, different nutraceuticals. Those are sort of more of the measurable things. In our clinic, we use things like acupuncture and our hyperbaric oxygen chamber. And those are things that are, again, measured and understood by science. But then you've got healing modalities like Reiki, potentially, homeopathy, other types of energy medicine, some types of crystal therapies. And who knows, but certainly I have clients that come in that seem to be doing things that we would consider weird from a conventional perspective, yet Fifi or Fluffy's health has improved, and we can't discount that those things may be playing a role. And what have we got to lose by considering them?
Awesome, awesome. Well, that's great, and I know we've got to go. So, thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Lisa. It was just fantastic. So, thank you to New Zealand, and have a great, enjoyable day. You're starting your day off, so hopefully we'll get to see you either after work or when you don't have to run. So, thank you again.
Thank you, Jeff.
Oh,
It's a
you're
pleasure
welcome.
chatting to you.
Thanks so